And we have some people, a couple of guys here, who are going to tell us all about a book that they wrote, and it's called "Herbs That Heal." You know, I am I'm so far out of practice on Free Farm Friday that I forgot where my theme song was. I found it. Because you can't talk farm life without Green Acres.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Da, 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 da.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The chores.
The stores. Fresh air.
Times Square.
You are my wife.
Goodbye, city life.
Green Acres, we are there.
All right, the book is called Herbs That Heal, Judson Carroll and Steve Cunningham. Cunningham, just sit there and let Judson do all the talking, please. Because he's the expert on the herbs anyway. See, one-armed Steve knows I'm messing with him. And we had Steve on the show on Monday, so this is actually a repeat appearance here. And the first time on Free Farm Friday. Judson, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming out, Steve. Good to see you again. How you guys?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Morning. I'm just glad I got in the right time. I've been on for like an hour going, I forgot to read the central part. I was so excited to get back on, Mike. I got up at 6 and then forgot I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, and you know we on the East Coast don't really believe those other time zones exist. Right? It's like Nebraska, we're not even sure it's a place, you know.
I knew it was birthday week, so it got me all excited. I was going to get her a bowling ball with King Dude written on it. Like, remember Homer Simpson?
Do not buy no bowling balls. You know, we ordered the book from Sophia Institute Press, so we'll have copies of it so you can get it in the Dude Gear store, Herbs That Heal. But I got to tell you, Judson, I have a flurry of emails from one Sister Maria Rosario, who's blowing my email box up. Mike, Mr. Church, you have to get Judson Carroll. You have to get him on your show. He's the herb guru. He's healing people. And I'm like, oh, whoa, sister. Tap your crown a couple of times here. It's already scheduled. It's in the works. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, Ave Maria. So Judson has been doing some evangelization work out there. And I think, Steve, was the book your idea and you got Judson to write it? Or Judson, was it your idea and you corralled Steve into it?
It was actually a mutual friend, a fellow that's written a few books for Sophia. He got in touch and pitched it to us, and we were like, sure, why not?
So I know that Steve.
Pretty much.
Okay, I know that Steve is growing a lot of fruits and all kind of exotic stuff. You know, peaches and figs, growing out of buckets, which apparently
He's pretty fruity. No doubt about it.
he is fruity. But you know, I learned a trick from Cunningham that I didn't know, and I'm going to try this next summer. That if you plant a seed tree, you know, a peach tree, any tree that goes to seed that has a fruit, in a 5-gallon bucket, you can trick it into thinking that it's mature, and it'll start sprouting buds for fruit. What did you say, Steve? 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, the June Gold was 1 year.
Wow.
The June Gold took 1 year. The other tree took 2 years. The other tree took 3, and my fig has already fruited about 12 figs, and I only had that for a few months.
Yeah, but let's get back to the book, because I love these kind of books that are I call them coffee table books, because they look really nice sitting on a coffee table. And then you open them up, and it's glossy print pages with beautiful color illustrations and stuff. So, tell us, Judson, tell us about the book. I mean, everyone has a go-to herb. They think they have a go-to herb. Ooh, I use such and such for this and that. I assume that the book is divided into sections on certain ailments. So just tell us about the book.
Yeah, well, Sophia Institute Press, of course, they wanted herbal medicine from a Catholic perspective, and so that's what we did. And so the first thing we do is really kind of dispel the myths that, herbal medicine is all like new agey or weird or witchy. For most of the last 2,000 years, the Catholic Church spread throughout Europe and into the Americas with free hospitals, and until the 1920s or so, just about every medicine was made from plants. So we start from that perspective. We give a whole lot of history. We talk about the German tradition of herbal medicine, Fathers Nape and Kunzel and all those guys, St. Hildegard von Bingen. The Germans always tell me I say it wrong. St. Hildegard von Bingen, Abbot Strabo, and just there's a good amount of history, but it's very practical. It's very much for use in your own home and kitchen. We call it kitchen medicine. So we start out like, eye ailments. We've got herbs that will soothe the eyes, and sore throats, herbs that will soothe sore throats, constipation, diarrhea, herbs for that. And we really try to focus on those herbs that are like close at hand that you may already have. They may be in your, a lot of them have culinary use. I mean, all our culinary herbs began as medicinal herbs. Most of them were used either for preserving food or stopping food poisoning before we had, refrigeration and such. We want to really focus on the herbs that may already be in your cabinet or something growing right out the back door. Like diarrhea, for instance, one of the best go-to herbs is oak bark. And just about everybody has an oak tree growing near them. For colds and flus, pine needle tea. And just about everybody has a pine of some sort growing around them somewhere. And then, dandelions and the plantain that people call a weed, not the banana-like thing, but plantain that's probably growing in your yard, or burdock, stuff people just go around spraying with Roundup thinking it's a weed. They were brought here by our ancestors for food and medicine. So that's really our focus, is like super practical, use what's at hand, don't have to spend a fortune, don't have to order a bunch of stuff. We don't deal with a lot of the more the herbs that might have a little toxicity or it can be dangerous. We stick with just really simple, basic home remedies, I think I'd say home remedies.
So we have at the church household, we started this about 5 years ago, and then I built the raised herb bed gardens. Basil, baby. Basil every year. 2 mints, a green mint and a spearmint. Oregano, which you can't seem to kill. Once the thing starts expanding, you can't get rid of it. Thyme, lemon thyme. What else you got growing out there? Italian parsley. The sage took off this year. So give me a medicinal purpose, use, Steve, for sage. Or Judson.
You asked me that, not him.
See, I wanted to see if he actually knew anything.
Judson, they bring up a lot of this. If you die with sage in your background, you pretty much did something wrong.
That's the old quote from
there's a
Hippocrates.
legend with sage that correct me if I'm wrong on this, that the Holy Family on the way to Egypt was protected by a sage bush that grew up to keep them from being seen by the robbers. And Our Lady blessed, the legend goes that Our Lady blessed sage. So it's pretty much good for everything. It's like one of those, keep it around just so to take care of, sore throats, antioxidants, things like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Judson. I'm struggling on the sage. I have pineapple sage that I like growing more than regular sage, because I'll go out and eat the pineapple sage leaves, and it tastes like pineapple, obviously.
Does it? I've never even heard of that.
Hummingbirds love it. Huh?
No, I never even heard of pineapple sage. I got the garden variety green with the purple bottom of the leaf sage. Judson, any other
I
medicinal
bet pineapple would grow your area. I bet pineapple would grow in your area.
Judson, any other medicinal purposes for sage?
Oh, sure. Sage is galactifuge. It will dry up mother's milk if need be. It has the same properties for any secretions. It will stop. It will help dry up your sinuses if you have a cold. It will help with excess sweating. It has some good antiviral properties. It has some antiseptic properties. Great for a sore throat. Good for the liver. Good for digestion. You mentioned oregano. Oregano is one of our most powerful antibiotic herbs. And I love oregano. I put it in just about everything. Basil is also in the mint family, so I just put basil and mints together. Antiseptic, antibiotic, antimicrobial. Like if you were in the woods and you went to a creek and you weren't sure the water was okay, the outdoor wilderness guys will say, grab some mint and eat it, and it will kill all the nasty stuff that might be in the water. I don't know if that's true or not, but it has been shown in lab tests to be that powerful, just introduced to something that you wouldn't want in your body. All of them are great for sore throats. All of them are great for colds. All of them are great for preserving meat. I love to take a nice piece of pork and just rub it down in all those herbs with some salt and pepper. Let it cure in the fridge for at least 24 hours. It's like, it's so good. There's actually an Italian dish where they do that. I can't remember the name of it. It's not pancetta. That's the only thing coming to me. But just take that and fry it up, and you get all your healthy herbs in a delicious meal of succulent pork. I think that's all you mentioned. Maybe parsley. I mean, parsley's so good for digestion. Parsley's good for bladder and kidney stones. The best thing, really, for bladder and kidney stones, and so good for the liver. I mean, a lot of these herbs will actually reduce liver inflammation. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice, but they can be very helpful for like fatty liver and such as that.
Interesting.
He did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Porchetta. Porchetta is the name.
Porchetta. No, I'm thinking that I wonder if the mint would be good if you combine it with the bourbon. Then you can drink the bad water.
Now, see, we don't adulterate bourbon in North Carolina. Bourbon is a part of our heritage, and we do not mix it we don't put ice in it. We don't put sugar in it, but we do not adulterate bourbon. We enjoy it as God intended.
I enjoy it as God intended too, but I'm going to use the medicinal excuse now. No, I put mint in it and sugar because it's liver ailment.
It's now a healthy bourbon.
It's a healthy bourbon.
Yeah.
Do that with your mojitos all day.
Steve
You
Cunningham.
can have your mojitos and on Taco Tuesday.
All right, we have Steve and Judson Carroll and Steve Cunningham on the hotline here on Free Farm Friday, which you haven't had in 3 months. The book is Herbs That Heal, Catholic Home Remedies to Forage and Grow. Steve, tell me about some of the great saints that were herbalists, because there's a bio of a saint in every chapter on a particular herb. If I read your publishing company's marketing material correctly.
Yeah, there's actually about 4 or 5 that are directly the gardeners or associated with it. I mean, obviously, like let's say Focus the gardener. He was one of those. He was a Roman. He was it was a Roman. I don't think he was a senator or something like that. But what happened was the empress comes over to his place and demands him do something immoral, and he's in his garden, and she comes in there and pretty much threatens his life, and ends up saying, "No, I'm not going to do this." Long story short, they kill him. So he's a patron saint of gardeners, just because he was a gardener, and then just wanted to be kind of like our Southerners, be left alone. And I tried to go find guys that a lot of people didn't know about, because did butlers, as you know, and then the Eastern Rite Saints. And if you find the new butlers has a lot more added in. And you just got to be careful about when they get rid of the legends part. But there's stuff like Focus I'd never heard of before. And so I'd record him on there. So when they asked me about the saints, remember, let me get these guys, because everybody knows like Isidore the farmer, and which is a great one, obviously. And it just tells everybody, the main story: don't work on Sunday, don't garden on Sunday. I try to do that as well. There's Our Lady of Perpetual Help. I didn't put her in there. I think she's a patron saint of gardening too. I just looked that up the other day during her feast day. But then the other ones are like Saint Teresa of Avila, a patron saint of headaches. And I actually knew that long time. I had a big headache. Big Saint Alphonsus fan, as probably everybody already knows. And Alphonsus writes about that in one of his books about having this amazing headache and praying to Saint Teresa, and that it would go, and then went away after her novena. So I remember reading that. I ended up having a big headache from reading it, I guess, and then did the novena to Saint Teresa, and then long story short, the headache goes away. Saint Peter the Martyr is the same way. His patron saint of headaches. I didn't put him in the book, but his tomb is head level. So if the joke is you got a headache, you just put your head against the tomb and the headache goes away.
Oh.
But yeah, and I put the Holy 40 Martyrs in there, and I actually start off going, this has nothing to do with colds, but it's just a cool story. They end up dying because they were cold. I'm like, yeah, cold. We're talking about colds. They died of a cold. Kind of. They died because they were frozen. But the main idea was just to get as many people like hooked on some of the saints they may not have known about, like the Holy 40 and Focus and guys like that, and just give a little nitpick. And they wanted me to do a prayer on there, but I just wasn't comfortable writing my own prayers. They're like, yeah, do something new. I didn't know. I literally copied and pasted this prayer. Just use that. I promise. I'm not making this one up.
The marigold flower. Now, I don't know if you talk about flowers, but most people don't know this. The marigold is actually, and they've conjugated the two words. It was Mary's gold. They conjugated it, the Protestants, so that it would be marigold, and no one would think that it was a flower that was named for Our Lady, but it is. And Judson, I think that there's either 6 or 7 Marian flowers that are named for Our Lady, and they all have medicinal properties too. And you don't have to comment on it because it may not be in the book. I just thought I would mention it. But as you're talking, I'm thinking, okay, go ahead.
Well, no, we didn't cover marigold in the book, but there are several herbs named for Our Lady. Just the other day, Steve and I were talking about motherwort. Motherwort's in the mint family. It helps with a lot of what we call premenstrual issues. Really very soothing and calming herb that can also bring on menses.
Let me put that on my checklist.
Yeah, definitely want to keep that one around. There's milk thistle, which is supposedly her milk fell on this thistle. And if you look at the leaves, it has like these kind of white variegated stripes in it. And that's kind of where it gets its name. That is super powerful for the liver.
Oh.
It has actually been shown in German studies. Amanita mushrooms are a poisonous mushroom. They're very, very common. When you see a white mushroom in your yard, it's probably an amanita. Never, ever eat that. I mean, I'm a mushroom hunter. I love eating mushrooms. I won't even touch an amanita. What it will do is liquefy your liver within about 12 hours. And milk thistle in German clinical studies has been shown to protect the liver even from amanita poisoning.
Wow.
Plus regrow liver after cirrhosis. I mean, it's really very powerful. It's an excellent herb. Steve mentioned sage. There are a bunch. There really are. And I mean, I can't think of any more right now, but there are a bunch.
Oh, and okay, so the book is Herbs That Heal, and going back to the Herbs That Heal. Now, don't tell the audience this because they'll go like, "Well, I got the punchline out of the book," but there's the one herb that every family should have. Is that one herb easily available? Just tell us that. Every household should have this one herb, according to your publicist. So.
I honestly do not remember what you're talking about.
What's a dandelion?
Is it
Probably
dandelion?
dandelion. I'm going with dandelion.
Survey says.
Okay, yeah, it sure does.
Survey said.
Dandelion.
Okay. Good.
I was.
See, isn't it great to
would
have
say
a radio
dandelion is
guy
so-
to do this with and not a podcaster who has all the special effects and everything and knows how to use them? I'm fascinated.
Honestly,
I'm fascinated.
when I write a book,
Yeah.
I forget it. The minute the last word's on the page, I forget everything I've written.
I'm fascinated by this, by the study of these herbs and just the knowledge of. We had a show, a little weekly thing that would come on the Crusade channel, and there was an herbalist in North Carolina, and she did them, and she did all these herbs. She did what was the one, Maggie? She did the not rose petals, rose hip. She did a rose hip, and she said that rose hip was like one of the most powerful. And she did dandelion. Now, dandelions are to be eaten.
I have rosehip tincture.
Do you chew a dandelion? Do you boil it? Do you make a tincture out of it? You make a tea out of it?
All of it.
All of it. Okay.
All of it.
All of it. And wine. Dandelion wine is fantastic. Get those buds in the spring, just when they come into flower, and basically you just kind of cook them down with a little sugar, like a simple syrup, and then dilute that by about an equal part of water. Put your yeast in there, and they call it sunshine in a glass. And it is just this beautiful yellow color. It's full of properties that'll help against colds and flus and allergies. And it is, or if you don't want the alcohol, you can just keep cooking it down to a syrup. And the syrup is absolutely identical to honey. Most people would think it was honey, and it costs you nothing.
That's a story I had never heard. And also, now, most people may think, many people may think that, well, just having an herb garden requires maintenance, knowledge, and upkeep and all this. And, you have to have a green thumb and all that. My experience is that once some of these herbs start growing, you can't kill them. Like mint, you get mint in your garden, you can't get rid of it. There's no getting rid of it. No matter how many times I pull it up, it comes back. So some of these are just, they just grow.
Yeah. Well, with mint, that's such a blessing. And I know Steve wants to talk about this as well, because we love this stuff. The rampant growth of mint, put it in everything. People think of mint just as like in, candy. No. I mean, when I make shrimp Creole, I take my tomatoes and garlic and hot peppers and, the whole thing. And then instead of bay leaf, I grab a big handful of mint. That's a tip I learned from Justin Wilson years ago. Big handful of mint. I do the same thing when I make an eggplant parm. It brings out savory flavors like you would not believe. I mean, you think mint with lamb, right?
Right.
Put mint together with some anything that's got onions in it and thyme, especially. Oh, my word. Thyme is actually a great expectorant, really, really good for coughs and such. You put a little thyme and mint in something, and you're going to bring out savory flavors. I mean, you could. This is restaurant quality food, and all you did was pick a few leaves and toss them in.
I love mint, and our primary use for mint around here is to make tea and mint juleps. So I just adulterated my bourbon, Judson. My apologies, man.
The Over Mountain men that won the revolution would not be pleased with you. The first thing that happened after we won the revolution was George Washington marched against his own troops because they didn't want to pay a tax on whiskey.
True story. The Whiskey Rebellion.
Yep.
Well, there's so many mints out there. I mean, I got chocolate, apple, strawberry, orange, obviously pineapple mint. And you can do all those for all different ones. And then, peppermint, spearmint, Kentucky mint. I feel like bubble gum sometimes. Let's talk about instead of shrimp, it's mint.
I was thinking that when Judson was saying that up until the 1920s that all remedies were made from plants and from herbs. And there used to be, my mother used to swear, because my grandmother, then my great-grandmother, used to swear by, you got cut in the church household when I was a kid, you didn't get any alcohol or anything poured on it. You got witch hazel poured on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you smell the witch hazel, and you go like, and today people smell it and go, oh, that's some new age herby concoction. No, it's an antiseptic basically. Am I right? It's just basically what it is.
Yeah, witch hazel is really good, and I mean it's just a bush you can grow in your yard. You can
Right.
make your own. Yeah, and
And you can use this stuff for your pets.
thyme. What'd you say, Steve?
And you can use this for your pets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So what's good to feed a dog? I mean, a dog's got the dog's got an immune system. Buckshot's got an immune system.
Same thing. If
Same
you think
thing
about
for
mint
us.
with the bad breath. You can have mint and help their teeth and bad breath. And dandelion, the same thing with the liver for us. It'll help their liver. And it's all, I mean, pretty much the same thing. There's even concoction. You can make up little sprays and spray their coats and be able to clean them up that way and just rub it off afterwards.
Yeah, one of my buddies is Dr. Patrick Jones. He's not only a naturopath, he's a veterinarian, and he some of the great tips he's given, like a dog will be hit by a car, bleeding out the nose, it's fading away, right? He keeps a little cayenne pepper tincture, squirts into the back of the throat, dog comes back. I mean, that's simple, right?
Wow.
I mean, it's just like dog's going to shock, boom, he's out of shock. He takes, plantain, I think comfrey, and a couple other herbs, and makes a spray for bad wounds. Sprays it on, and it helps with mange as well. One of the common herbs, common weeds around here, they call it, is horse nettle, and horse nettle's fantastic for mange. But my little buddy, a little border collie, he died last year. He was a rescue, so I don't know exactly how old he was when I found him out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Probably 3 or 4, but I had him for 16 years. So he lived to be almost 20, and that's really old for a dog, obviously. He, like Steve said, everything I ate, he ate. I mean, he ate everything I ate. When I used herbs, I never took him to the vet the first time. He didn't get the shots, didn't get anything. And yeah, he lived to be probably somewhere between 18 and 20 years old.
We carried the book, St. Hildegard's Garden, and I got 10 copies of it, sold it like that. Catholics are attuned or becoming attuned to this. And your book is published, Herbs That Heal, Catholic Home Remedies to Forage and Grow. And you talk about the monasteries. Well, Judson, I don't know if you've been to the St. Benedict Center, but Sister Maria Rosario is the apothecarian there. And
I know. Yeah,
have you seen her garden? Has she showed it to you?
I have not. No, I got to go do that. I mean, she's championing our book like crazy. She contacts me every day with suggestions, and
sister.
she's great. She's fantastic.
I'm trying to draft Cunningham to come to the St. Benedict Center convention this year, so he should come and talk about herbs, or just talk to the people and sell the herb book. But let me tell you, when 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when it was during COVID, so it was 5 years ago, she really took on this task, and she told me that there were over 40 herbs growing in that garden. It's not big. You're talking maybe 20 by 20. And she's got some of them hanging. She's got a trellis for some of them. She's got some of them in pots. Some of them are growing on the ground. I mean, they grow everywhere. And you walk in this place, she just goes, just take a breath. And she goes, just stand in the middle, Mike, and just breathe. And I did. And of course, it's so, talk about a healing. You just get healed right there on the spot. It's just great to have this stuff around the house. But, it's interesting, the terminology that we have lost as Catholics and even as secular people. We've lost the term apothecarian. We think an apothecarian is a wizard. We think this is like a Merlin, a magician. No, it's somebody who knows how to handle herbs and what to do with them. Right on Bourbon Street, Steve, you've been here. On Bourbon Street, there's still an apothecary. They call it the Bourbon Street Apothecary. And if you go in there, of course, most of the stuff is over-the-counter manufactured inorganic crap. But they used to have the jars. And you go in there, and I'll tell you one last thing before we go. There's a store chain that was going into malls, and it was called the Pennsylvania Dutch Herb Company. And you could go, I think it was the Pennsylvania Dutch. Maybe it was the Pennsylvania Dutch Herb or something like that. So I went into one. Name the herb. Just name it. Like, what's the one that comes it comes from Africa? It starts with a C. And I was trying to find, I couldn't find it anywhere. Oh gosh, it'll come to me in a minute. Because we wanted to make barbecue with it. They said it's just really good in a barbecue rub. Couldn't find it anywhere. Went somewhere, and I can't remember where it was, and they had one of these stores in this mall. Went in there, and they had it. It was in a brown box. And the box is just a wall of brown boxes with name your herb. So the secularists beat the Catholics to market again with something that we ought to own. We should own this.
You probably when you see me in there going, hey, I know how you're feeling right now. You're writing down everything that Justin's talking about. I was there. I had the Amazon box full of, well, I'm going to get the St. Benedict seeds. I'm going to get this seed. I got to get this seed. I got to get this seed. I got 50 doggone seeds in my shop cart. I've only spent $15. Holy cow. I mean, you got to pump the brakes a little because we do get excited over it. I do. I now have about 90 tinctures in the other room for my own little medicine here, from rose hips all the way down to raspberry leaves to stinging nettle to everything. I mean, I was texting Justin up, hey, is this nettle? And he goes, touch it. At first I was afraid. It was like, I don't know how bad it's going to sting.
Did it sting?
Yeah. I'm woohoo enough that I'll go back and do it again. Going, yeah, it wasn't that bad. And but sometimes you can feel. I can feel the energy coming off the stinging nettle, and now you see purple nettle during the early spring, and I can't wait. I was telling Justin about this the other day, so I can't wait to get some sumac. Now that it's stopped raining, we had 4 days of rain. I know where the sumac is. I just got to wait for it to dry and make some lemonade out of it.
Yeah, and hey, that's good in a barbecue rub as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sumac.
Oh yeah. No, we're not talking poison sumac. We're talking the
staghorn.
Yeah, like staghorn, or can't remember the name of the family in Latin, but the like if you get spices from the Middle East, that's a common spice is sumac. It has this lemony taste, and that's real nice in a rub. You take a little garlic powder and black pepper, put a little of that sumac in there, get that kind of lemon pepper type flavor, and then some cayenne, and I think this is funny. My family came here from all over, Irish, but the Creole side of my family came from Guadeloupe in like the late 1600s.
Okay.
And probably introduced hot peppers to North Carolina. So I'm always thinking, what can we combine with hot peppers? So it's going to be, so get some oregano in there, get some black pepper there, get some something lemony in there, and come up with all kinds of great spice rubs and blends. Tony Satchery got nothing on me, I tell you.
Well, I would tell you this. I started growing these a couple of years ago because they're easy. And that's, everyone loves the sauce, but Tabasco. And a Tabasco pepper's weird. It grows up. They start off green, and if you let them sit on there until they get red, they're almost inedible. You can't. There's not much you can use a red Tabasco pepper with. So Maggie and I, we pick them when they're either yellow or orange, and you can use one Tabasco pepper will season an entire pot of whatever it is you're cooking. If you're looking for a pepper profile,
wow, yeah. We got the Carolina Reaper and such here. They say it's a hotter pepper, but there's something about Tabascos. If I eat them raw, they will tear me up.
They will kill you.
I grew up on Scotch bonnets and habaneros. Literally, pick-a pepper sauce was like my mom's favorite hot sauce when I was a kid. I put it on everything, So I grew up on habaneros. A Tabasco pepper eaten raw, well, oh my word. And my great-grandmother, she would take us out in the field like 20 acres away from everywhere, right? And she grew all kinds of peppers. She was old Creole French. And she'd say, eat this pepper. It's not hot. It's a banana pepper. I'm like, Granny, you got me this. 15 times you always trick me on this, right? And she'd hand me a pepper, set me on fire, and I was 20 acres away from the well. The pump house.
Well, a green a real banana pepper that's green and has just turned yellow actually tastes like an apple. If you pick it, then I would challenge somebody, blindfold you. I'm gonna cut pieces of an apple up, not a Granny Smith, I don't know, a Macintosh or whatever, and I'll serve you a couple pieces. Then I'll give you a couple pieces of a properly grown banana pepper that's just yellowed. You cut it up, and if I take the seeds out, you can't tell the difference. It's sweet.
Cubanelle, yeah. I mean, my favorite really to play around with is poblanos because you never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, they can be it can be like a bell pepper, or it can really give you like a serrano pepper punch. Love poblano peppers. Put them in just about everything.
All right, Steve Cunningham, all right, we're going to wrap this up. What was your favorite hagiography that you included in the Herbs That Heal book? What was the one you knew the least about and became your most favorite?
Oh, least about? I'd say Focus, because I was going to say the favorite is good. I'd have to always go with the 40 Holy Martyrs.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go with Focus because again, he's very. I could probably swing a dead cat, and people that have no clue who he is. Literally, he's like Focus the gardener, and he's in the East and West write-ups.
And Judson, what was your favorite part about writing this book? If you had one part, if you had to pick one.
For me, it was Steve's commentary. He's cracking me up every minute.
He does
I
that.
always say when we do the show together, like when we do interviews, he's the straight man and I'm the comedy. In the book, it was reversed.
That's funny. All right, everybody. The book is Herbs That Heal, Catholic Home Remedies to Forage and Grow by. Great to have you guys on a Free Farm Friday. Best of. Are you guys going to team up, the dynamic herb duo, for another one? What's next?
If they ask, I mean,
Really?
if you see all of Judson's books, I mean, some of his books could be a lethal weapon. They're that big, so there's plenty of information. I mean, that's probably what a third of what he usually writes, maybe even less. So
I've got one
there's so many rows you can go on if they want to.
800 and some pages, and I mean, my royalties off of it are like 50 cents for every sale because it costs so much to print.
I mean, he's got a whole book just on ferns.
On what?
He has a whole book just on ferns.
On ferns.
And that's one of the most fun ones. I mean, I got all the lore in there and the old legends and tales, and that was a fun one to write. It really was.
I tell you, just you remind me when you said lore. One of the better TV shows made in the last 20 years was the one that had all the Grimm. It had all the lore in it, and some of the lore was really cool. I'd look it up and go like, yeah, that's an actual real lore. They actually thought that critter was created, or that creature was created by this, and to kill it, you had to go get an herb concoction. It was amazing. So many episodes of Grimm that like to kill things or to kill an evil, you used an herb concoction.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I know you got to run, but believe it or not, until about 1900, college-educated botanists with like doctoral degrees believed there was a fern on an island because of tales from sailors that dropped little baby sheep from its fronds. It actually gave birth to little baby sheep. I'm not kidding you. I mean, these are people. I mean, you always say, what would Dr. Fauci say? Trust the science, right? Trust the science. Well, the scientists would tell you that a fern would give birth to a sheep.
But we have law. Chesterton wrote about that. He saw this coming 100 years ago, because he was like, you guys are like trying to take everything, all the fun out of everything, including the lore, including, the wonder of a child and a fairy tale and an old, such an old wives' tale. Yeah, but it's a good one. Our response should be, yeah, but it's a good one. you should tell it.
The Red Clover one. I think it was reading Judson. It talked about how Eve was the last thing she did was pluck the red clover out of Eden, and she took it with her when they got kicked out. And I mean, I remember asking Judson, all right, how did we know all this? He goes, easy. God told Adam. Adam told everyone after that. They told Noah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And they actually told me, because you read like St. John the Baptist, he ate herbs, and like, oh man, that poor guy only ate what? He ate a leaf. No, like he ate pretty good, probably.
Yeah, he probably did. And actually, maybe now some people speculate this, some people say it's not the case, but we do know the prodigal son ate the pods that were supposed to be fed to the pigs. Those were pods from probably the honey locust tree or a carob tree. And so it could be that when John the Baptist was eating locust, it wasn't just bugs, which apparently there is a variety that tastes like shrimp, so it probably wasn't that bad. But it could have been honey locust pods, in which case that would not be a very bad diet whatsoever. In fact, if y'all want to grow a nice tree that you can do a lot of things with, plant a honey locust. That thing will grow tall and straight. The wood's fantastic. It's wonderful wood for smoking meat with.
Really?
But those locust pods, oh yeah. And those locust pods that drop, you can brew beer from them. I'm not kidding you. They are so full of sugar, you can cook them down into a syrup. You can grow honey locust beer, and it's better than barley. Fantastic.
I wrote it down so I don't forget it.
Don't be shy. Even with me, when we're doing a show together, I'm doing that. I'm looking at him going, yeah, it's very interesting. And you see me, I'm writing.
Oh, you guys are great.
The spikes off a honey locust are so strong you can use them in place of nails. I mean, it's seriously like one of the most useful trees, and because it's leguminous, it pulls nitrogen out of the atmosphere and self-fertilizes. So you can grow locusts like crazy anywhere. They're fantastic. We have black locusts here, native, but the honey locust with those pods, man, I mean, any tree that will give you food, beer, and building material, and
I'm growing a forest of it.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, the father of permaculture, Bill Mollison, he used honey locusts to like reforest parts of Australia. After that, they actually tried to sue him because the locust trees grew so rampantly, and the spikes were piercing everybody's tires. So it's like literally that easy to grow.
That's hysterical. All right, everybody. The book is Herbs to Heal by. Now, this isn't an 800-pager, is it?
No. What 120, 150, maybe something like that.
I lost count after 2.
Yeah.
You're going to be going like, man, I wish this book was more. I wish this book was here. Darn Judson Carroll for wanting to make a profit and get royalties. Could have given me 400 pages. By the by, so I'd have to ask, because you're 2 R's and 2 L's, are you any relation to the Carrolls of Maryland?
Yeah.
You are?
It's Charles Carroll's nephew's grandson or something came to North Carolina about 1840, ran a post office, started a school, served in the Civil War, and I'm 90% sure that's my great-great-grandfather. See, the churches and courthouse were burned in the Civil War, and before that in the War of 1812. And our family cemetery was completely desecrated after the Civil War. They just threw the tombstones in the lake. And my great-great-great-grandfather, apparently after serving in 1812, went to Georgia for claim some gold and was killed by Cherokee. So I've got this little gap, but considering we're the only Carrolls in the county, I'm 90% sure that, Charles Carroll.
I was really hoping he was saying, I am Charles's second cousin's former roommate.
I am your brother's sister's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing, which is what you're about to say. Spaceballs. Got to get the Spaceballs quote.
Well, the Georgia Gold Rush was real. I've been to the town, Dahlonega. It's a beautiful little town. Oh, it's amazing. And the wine that they're growing in Georgia now, it's absolutely incredible. The resurgence in wine growing all throughout Appalachia, all the way from New York, from the Catskills, all the way down to Georgia. It is an American wine belt now. You go to Georgia, you go to North Carolina. Virginia's done a phenomenal job, bringing some of the French grapes in. Their state grape, the Viognier, which is one of my favorite, makes an amazing wine. Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, they all have wineries now. We almost lost this.
Helen, there's a little winery there that does a cherry port, not even a grape, it's a cherry. It will blow your mind. It is so good. But yeah, that's such a funny story too, because actually there were insects infesting the grapes in France, and it was going to wipe out the entire French wine industry. And it was Texas that developed resistant wine grapes that saved the French wine industry.
I heard this story at a tasting at a winery in Virginia. I heard it, and the person that was telling the story said, "No, it's a true story. You can look it up." That Texas saved French the French wineries. What I was going to say to you, Judson and Steve, we almost lost the American wine craft. We almost lost it. You know, the Californians came in, and everyone was about California wine. And they were turning the wineries in Appalachia into strip malls or whatever they were doing with them. And just a couple of dedicated souls went, wait a minute, we can grow wine grapes here. You know, of course, the further south you get, the bigger they get and the sweeter they get. But you can grow wine grapes. But we almost lost it. So it's a great thing to see the resurgence of wineries across the eastern seaboard. And Steve turned me on to one. There's a Catholic couple that's growing a wine out in California. As a matter of fact, she sent me a couple of bottles. I'm going to have some today. I just got it. So looking very much forward to sampling her wine. You know, Catholics should really, we just don't do this enough. The Mormons do it, the Protestants do it, the Baptists do it, the Mohammedans do it, the Catholics don't. We war. Well, I'm not giving you any of my audience. I'm not, no, you're not, no, you're going to steal a listener from me. Shut up and share. We should all be working together. This stuff, like what we're talking about here. Catholics ought to own this. When people think herbs, they go like Catholics. Don't just find an exorcist to get rid of demons. You need to get rid of a cold. Go find a Catholic, an apothecarian. Go find Sister Maria Rosario. So keep up the great evangelization, and I think it is a great evangelization, gentlemen. And thanks for being on the show. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
Oh, you'll hear from me. You're gonna get tired of hearing from me, Steve.
Hey, we'll talk Bee Gees if nothing else.
Okay, Steve. As always, buddy. So good to see you, man.